Hey, on today's episode of Restoring Christine, we tackled the firewall. Spent some time with the welding machine, plugged some unnecessary holes, deleted the heater holes over here, and I smoothed out the firewall a little bit, got rid of some imperfections and flaws with some body filler, sanded it, smoothed it, primed it. It's almost ready to paint. Got a little bit more work to do, but if you're interested in seeing how we got this done this week, stay tuned. Before we get started, I'm going to take the dogs for a walk. I've got our ball. Josie's nutso for this ball. You gonna go get it? Ready? Bring it back. Bring it back. Right here. Good catch. Bring it back. Drop it. One more time. You ready? Good girl. All right, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Restoring Christine. Now that we got the dog walk out of the way, Josie's happy, Deuce is happy. I can get in the garage and get started working on Christine and maybe get something done today. So what we're going to do today is not super exciting. I'm going to try to smooth out the firewall. I'm going to prep the firewall for paint, try to get it ready. I'm going to smooth it out as best I can. I'm going to get rid of the dimples from some of the factory spot welds. There's some rust repair that I had done previously that was, it's left a little, some marks. So I'm going to be working with body filler and get that smoothed out. I'm going to get rid of some extra holes. I'm going to get rid of some brackets that I don't plan on reusing. This is from the wiring harness. I'm going to get rid of those. I've got other plans for that are going to be smoother and nicer. But before I tackled any of this, I needed to go and figure out, all right, what holes are important and what holes aren't. And I am planning on installing a mechanical wiper set on Christine, so that all gets mounted under the dash. Haven't ordered it yet. I'm also planning on installing either a classic air or vintage air AC set. So I went online and I looked at their installation manuals and tried to determine which of the brackets and which of the holes I need to keep or the mounting points. So in order to do all that, I went back to my factory passenger assembly manual, and this is something I did an episode on a long time ago. It's probably the driest episode of everything I've ever produced, and but still it serves a purpose. So if you're interested in seeing that, it's out there. It's 17 minutes of torture, but hey, go look at it. But anyway, all right, so I use this, and the very first diagram in this book is on the firewall, and for the second diagram, second page, maybe the second or third diagram, one of the first, is the firewall, and it shows you what every hole is used for, what they were for. I'll be closing off some things that aren't necessary. I'll be closing off some holes that, for example, these were meant for part of the wiring harness. There were other holes that were meant for other little pieces that I'm not going to be using. I want to make sure I retain all the holes that mount the firewall pad, so I went and I marked those. But what I'm going to do today, this is going to be so basic, simple, nothing exciting. So how about I tell you what, I'm just going to set the camera up on time lapse, put on some good rock and roll music, and let you guys watch me work, and let's get this thing cleaned up. We're going to be using the welding machine, using some body filler, a lot of hand sanding, a bit of priming, but let's get after it. Well, I got it all. That's one pass on the firewall. Just took care of all the little dimples, all the little spot welds, pinch welds, and I'm gonna go over a few other things. But man, it just started raining. I mean monsooning. So anyway, I have a couple of videos out there that are on repairing the cowl, this bottom area here. I've got one on the passenger side and one on the driver's side. I did the same thing. Put a link to those up here. And then also I repaired the cowl right at the A-pillar. I don't remember if I got a video on this one. I know I've got one on the driver's side. This is the passenger side. So if I've got videos on repairing that sheet metal work, both of these are made from scratch. This whole panel. So that was all made from scratch. So I believe I have a video that might cover both of them. I know I've got one that covers this one. So while it's raining, I'm gonna go ahead and let that cure. I'm gonna go inside and pick something to eat, but I'll be back out in just a minute. Well, the rain stopped, or it slowed down drastically, and thunder. Must have been a cold front or something. I mean, the temperature dropped like 15 degrees. When I came in the garage, it was 80, and I had the air conditioner on, and now I was able to turn it off. It cooled off a lot. So now all of this body filler is cured. I'm gonna go ahead and get back on hyperlapse. I'm gonna be sanding this down. We're gonna get this ready to go. I didn't too much. I'm not too worried about how, this doesn't have to be decked, doesn't have to be flat. I just want it to be relatively smooth. I don't want to have a whole bunch of imperfections. That's really what I'm going after. So I'm gonna go ahead with hand sanding all the way on this. So let's go. A couple of flaws I still want to pick up on. A little bit of an issue here, a little bit here, and then this is still a little bit too wavy for my liking. The body filler started to find the imperfections. I was using a flexible block on this. It was a piece of foam, so it was flexing around everything, and so it was going to ride the waves, no doubt. But I still have a few flaws. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up another batch of filler. I'm going to go ahead and make another pass on the top lip of the cowl, and then I'm going to turn my attention to the two A-pillar areas and see if we can't get this whole thing prepped up.
the pressure valve failed. It's been doing this for the past 30 minutes. It hits pressure and it doesn't seal. So it's a brand new compressor. Valve failed. It's been doing it for at least 30 minutes. So I'm gonna have to let this bleed down, shut the compressor completely off. I can't quite finish this. So let me come back to you in just a second when this shuts up.
Whew, thank goodness that's done. Okay, let me show you what just failed. So the compressor has a valve, a sensor that is the switch. So it trips on at 105 psi maybe, and then it shuts off at maybe 145. And when it shuts the motor down, when it shuts the compressor pump down, it has a little bit, like 5 seconds or so, that it bleeds down right here. What was happening is this little bleed down, whatever bleeds off, wasn't sealing. So it was just bleeding off the entire tank, and it took a long time for it to finally stabilize. It would run enough for me to work, but then you know, it wouldn't sit idle unless I shut it completely down. So let's take a look at the firewall. You know, I think it looks great. It's not completely there. It's not 100%, but most of it's done. I mean, it is a lot better than what it was. A-pillars. I got a little bit more work to do on those. Those have there's some shape to this. I need to make sure that it's trailing right. I need to bring my stainless steel in and make sure that the stainless steel not only fits, but I mean that it covers the parts that are going to be. I want to make sure that I can see what's exposed so I can finish detailing all that. So, but I also discovered this. So I'm going to have to cut out a little strip along here because of this pitting. And, you know, it's a little bit more welding work to do, so I'll do that next, maybe. But that's going to do it. So I appreciate you sticking with me. Thank you for watching my episodes. If you enjoyed them, please give me a thumbs up. If you enjoy the channel, how about a subscription? So that's going to do it for today. I will see you next weekend when we continue working on Christine. So until then, please take care of yourself. Cheers.